She was 19, working her first night shift at the diner when three men cornered her in the storage room. "Moan louder!" One laughed as they shoved her toward the bed in the back office. Her scream caught in her throat. But what they didn't know was that the quiet man sitting alone in booth 7 wasn't just another customer. Marcus Hayes was a Navy SEAL home on leave, and he had exactly 30 seconds to spare. What city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe and follow for more stories about extraordinary people. Let me take you back to Cedar Falls, Iowa, on a cold November night in 2019. Emma Rodriguez had moved to this small town 3 months ago, escaping an abusive home in California. At 19, she was starting over with nothing but a backpack and determination. The Night Owl Diner gave her a chance when no one else would. The pay wasn't much, but it was honest work, and the owner, Mrs. Chun, treated her like family. That Thursday night started like any other. Emma wiped down tables, refilled coffee, and smiled through her exhaustion. The diner was nearly empty. Just one customer remained, a man in his mid-30s sitting in booth 7, nursing black coffee and reading a worn paperback. He had kind eyes and hadn't said much beyond "thank you" when she'd served him earlier. Around 11 p.m., 3 men walked in. Emma noticed them immediately. They were loud, already drunk, and their eyes followed her in a way that made her skin crawl. She'd seen men like this before. She knew that look. "Hey, sweetheart, how about some extra service?" One called out, his words slurred. Emma kept her smile professional, but distant. "I'll be right with you, gentlemen. Let me grab some menus." As she walked toward the kitchen, she felt one of them grab her wrist. "We don't need menus, honey. We need you to be a little friendlier." Her heart raced. The diner's cook had left an hour ago. Mrs. Chun was in the office doing paperwork. Emma was alone with these men and the quiet stranger in booth 7 who seemed absorbed in his book. "Please let go," Emma said firmly, trying to pull away. Instead, the man tightened his grip. His 2 friends stood up, blocking her path. "Come on, don't be like that. We just want to have some fun." They started pushing her toward the back, toward the storage room where Mrs. Chun sometimes rested on the old bed she kept for overnight shifts. Emma's breathing became shallow. This couldn't be happening. Not again. Not after she'd finally escaped. "Stop! Let me go!" She shouted, but one of them covered her mouth. That's when she heard the scrape of a chair. The quiet man from booth 7 stood up. He wasn't particularly tall, maybe 5'10", but something about the way he moved made everyone freeze. His movements were precise, controlled, like a predator assessing prey. "Gentlemen," he said calmly, his voice steady and cold, "you have 3 seconds to let her go and walk out that door." The largest of the 3 men laughed. "Oh yeah? What are you going to do about it, old man? There's 3 of us and 1 of you." Marcus Hayes didn't repeat himself. He simply walked forward. What happened next took exactly 28 seconds. The first man lunged at Marcus. Marcus sidestepped with minimal movement, grabbed the man's extended arm, and used his own momentum to send him crashing face first into a table. 1 down. The second man threw a wild punch. Marcus blocked it with his forearm, delivered a precise strike to the man's solar plexus, and as he doubled over, brought his knee up to meet the man's face. 2 down. The third man, the one who'd been holding Emma, let her go and pulled out a knife. "I'll cut you, man." Marcus's expression didn't change. He moved like water, flowing around the knife thrust, trapping the man's wrist and applying pressure to a nerve point. The knife clattered to the floor. A quick sweep of the leg, and the third man joined his friends on the ground. Groaning in pain, Emma stood frozen, trembling, unable to process what she'd just witnessed. Marcus calmly pulled out his phone and dialed. 911. 3 men attempted to assault a young woman at the Night Owl Diner on Route 30. They'll need medical attention and transport to county jail. I'll wait here until you arrive. Then he turned to Emma, and his voice softened completely. "You're safe now. Are you hurt?" Emma shook her head, tears streaming down her face. Mrs. Chum burst out of the office. Having heard the commotion, while they waited for the police, Marcus sat with Emma in a booth, Mrs. Chum bringing them both tea. Emma's hands still shook as she wrapped them around the warm cup. "How did you do that?" she whispered. Marcus smiled gently. "Training. A lot of it. But that's not what matters right now. What matters is that you're okay." "I froze," Emma said, shame creeping into her voice. "I should have fought back. I should have done something." "Stop right there," Marcus said firmly, but kindly. "You survived. That's what matters. You did nothing wrong. Those men made choices. Bad choices. You were working, doing your job, living your life. Never let anyone make you feel like you're responsible for someone else's violence." Emma looked up at him, and for the first time that night, she felt something shift inside her. "I moved here to escape my stepfather. He used to hit me, tell me I was worthless. I thought I left all that behind, but tonight I felt just as powerless as I did back home." Marcus leaned forward. "Emma, listen to me. Healing isn't linear. You're going to have moments where you feel strong and moments where you feel vulnerable. That's being human. But you got out. You're building a new life. You're working hard. That takes more courage than any fight I've ever been in." The police arrived and arrested the three men. Turns out they had outstanding warrants in 2 states. Marcus gave his statement, and the officers thanked him for his service when they learned he was a SEAL. Before Marcus left that night, he wrote something on a napkin and handed it to Emma. It was a phone number. "That's the crisis hotline for assault survivors. And below it is my sister's number. She runs a support group in Des Moines. You don't have to use either one, but I want you to have them. You don't have to go through this alone." Emma clutched the napkin like a lifeline. "Why did you help me?" Marcus paused at the door. "Because a long time ago someone helped my sister when I wasn't there to protect her. I can't change what happened to her, but I can make sure I'm present when someone needs help. We all can. That's how we heal the world, one moment of courage at a time." 6 months later, Emma started volunteering at the support group Marcus's sister ran. She enrolled in community college to study social work. The nightmares still came sometimes, but they were getting quieter. And every Thursday night, Marcus still stopped by the Night Owl Diner when he was in town. They'd sit in booth 7, drink coffee, and talk about books, life, and the small acts of bravery that change everything. Sometimes protection comes from the most unexpected places. Sometimes a stranger becomes a guardian angel. But the real lesson here isn't about physical strength or fighting back. It's about showing up for each other. It's about refusing to look away when someone needs help. It's about remembering that healing is possible, that we're not defined by our worst moments, and that courage can be as quiet as sitting in a diner booth, ready to stand up when it matters. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Drop a comment telling me about a time someone showed up for you when you needed it most. And subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more narratives that remind us of the goodness that still exists in this world. Remember, you are stronger than you know, and you are never alone. Until next time, take care of your soul